This is the brand new Cayenne. And as you can see, we are in a forest type location. Guess where? We are in India, exactly in Meghalaya, and we'll be driving this through mountain roads, highways, switchbacks, and everything the northeast of India can throw at me and this car. So, are you ready for an epic, exciting journey with the 2023/2024 Cayenne? Let's go. So what do we have new for the facelifted Porsche Cayenne? Well, the facelift word says it all. We have a brand new front end, and in true Porsche style, it's evolutionary rather than revolutionary. So it's an evolution of the previous version. This is the 3.2 version. E3.2 is as Porsche likes to call it. We have brand new headlights and brand new fog lights. This entire front grille has been revised, and you can see the bonnet has a dip and curve in it as well. So a more aggressive and sharpish front end on the Cayenne. Can you spot it? Instantly, you may not. You have to bring an old car next to it, or not an old car, an older car next to it, and then you'll be able to pinpoint the true differences between both the cars. Let's check out the sides. The side profile is pretty much identical to the previous generation. You will not be able to tell the difference from the side. In fact, everything looks pretty much identical to the previous generation of the Cayenne. Now, because we are in India, our tires have much more sidewall over here than they would in any other country because of road conditions and terrain conditions. However, if you're going to be in the UAE or any other part of the world, your tires are going to be much more skinnier than this. These are also 21-inch tires, so you may think they are small, but believe me, they are big and wide enough, proper chunky little things. Talking about the rear, this is where there is a big change as well. They have the complete light bar package that is in sync with all modern Porsches. This particular car does not get the sport exhaust, but those are optionable, and I highly suggest you get them. Not only do they look better, they sound better as well. So definitely get the sports exhaust when you spec your Cayenne. The light bar is very cool. Rear roof spoiler as well. All in all, the car looks very modern and minimalist. In the previous generations, I used to like the regular Cayenne over the sport coupe style, but in this version I prefer the sport coupe style in looks. So if you think you want to buy a Cayenne, I highly suggest you to get the sport coupe style. It's time to drive the Porsche Cayenne, and I am in the base Cayenne. Well, everybody's in the base Cayenne on this trip, but the Cayenne comes with multiple engine options. Cayenne, the Cayenne S, the Cayenne Hybrid, a Cayenne GTS, Cayenne Turbo, Turbo S, and the range-topping Cayenne Turbo SE Hybrid, whatever they're going to call it, with a maximum output of maybe somewhere close to 800 horsepower. So that is proper supercar territory. But talking about this car that I am in, this is a V6 turbocharged car. And oh my god, let me enjoy this view for a second. This is just beautiful. But yeah, talking about this one, V6 turbocharged car producing 353 horsepower, does 0 to 100 in 5.9 seconds. It's made into an 8-speed automatic gearbox and comes with air suspension in India as standard. But otherwise across the world, I think you may have an option of choosing the basic standard suspension. I have to say that in cities or when you're driving in traffic, the car in normal mode just drives effortlessly and smoothly. But when you want to really push the car, normal mode feels a bit sluggish. It feels a bit too slow. on the base Cayenne. You need to put the car in Sport or Sport Plus to get maximum performance out of it. And believe me, you won't feel overwhelmed by it. You actually will be very happy to drive the car in Sport or Sport Plus. What happens when you move the car to Sport or Sport Plus is that the good thing is the ride doesn't become jarring. It's actually still very comfortable, very pliant, and at the same time gives you proper handling and performance. This car can really take on corners. You wouldn't feel scared pushing it across switchbacks and on winding mountain roads, which is exactly what I'm doing today. I'm pushing this car through every piece of corner that I'm getting, and I'm really pushing it properly. So this car provides you with ample grip, ample performance, ample stability, and a ton of safety features as well. So all in all, this car is really all the car that you need. We are in India and the road conditions are always not the best. There are some potholes, some bumps. The tarmac is also not completely smooth. There's always some unevenness. But this car is handling it so well. And the air suspension on this is just truly amazing. And you just have to drive it to understand how capable this car is. And I forgot to tell you guys about the gearbox. Now this has an 8-speed automatic gearbox. Unlike Porsche's dual clutch systems or PDK, this is much slower. Even when you're driving the car in Sport Plus, it's a bit slower, and you really have to play with the gears in manual mode to pull out the performance in this car. Is that a negative point? I don't think that's a negative point. I think it lets you play around more with the car, truly engaging with the car. So that makes you engage with your driving style and the road conditions and the car more, making it even more fun. Putting the sporty back in SUV. Beautiful car. Honestly, it is. If you want to have one car garage and you want something performance oriented, this is the car to get. The entire dashboard is new on this car. It's been lifted off the Taycan and put into the Cayenne. There's a dual screens like the Taycan, and the passenger display is optional. Obviously, you have Apple CarPlay in this as standard, and you have the AC vents from the Taycan without the touch thing. They are manual. I do love the touch screen AC vents movement on the Taycan, but obviously while driving they're not practical, so they move to actually physically moving it. The materials in the car are excellent. There's Alcantara on the steering wheel over here. There's leather, the traditional Porsche grab handles, Porsche Cayenne grab handles, a complete glass roof on top. And what's surprising in this car is the levels of noise, vibration and harshness. They are really good. That means I can barely hear anything outside. I'm not interrupted by the outside world. I am secluded in my cabin. The material, the overall sense of luxury and just well-being, light, space is phenomenal. When I said Alcantara, I meant race text, because Porsche doesn't use Alcantara anymore. They have their own proprietary product called race text, which is like Alcantara, force of habit. What I am particularly not fond of is this digital cluster. Now I know this is taken from the Taycan and looks pretty good on the Taycan, but somehow I'm not used to seeing this digital cluster on the Cayenne. I'm not used to having this one over here. Maybe there's a mode for me to change the graphics on it, but somehow I feel that it could have been better. Okay, so the starting price in India is 1.5 crores. Or 1.5 crores is like 15 million rupees, which in Dubai is starting price is 750,000 dirhams, which is obviously way too expensive for the UAE market. But the Indian market, because of taxes, it's much higher. There's 220% import duty. People, Fadi has flown in all the way from Dubai to Meghalaya, Shillong, Guwahati, just to drive the Cayenne. But let's talk about the specs. I love the color. What's it called?
The color is Kashmir beige metallic.
It's a very unique color.
Kashmir is in India.
Kashmir is in India, but
see?
this is Kashmir, not Kashmir.
Ah.
Now, our car, by the way, in the entire thing is the highest spec car. So we have the sport coupe style. We have the biggest wheels from everybody else. We have the Porsche lettering on the side,
Which I don't like.
you don't like, but it's still there. We have the two-tone leather option. What else is there? Read it out to me. And the special color,
What
Kashmir
else?
beige metallic, which is a new color.
Decorative side logo, yeah, that this is the one I don't like. Leather interior in two-tone combination, smooth
Okay.
finish. Leather black and crayon. Sport chrono package with Porsche design.
Yeah, they have this for the clock.
And
sport
I
chrono.
noticed now it have. I noticed now that it have Porsche design.
Yeah, it's a
Before
Porsche
it was
design. Yeah, so the Porsche design is now in charge of the clock.
That's interesting.
Let me
And
take a
also you
picture.
have extended exterior package. This is done by Porsche exclusive manufacturer.
Which one?
The high gloss and the Porsche logo LED doors.
Oh, that's a exclusive manufacturer option.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the price.
I don't want to look at the price. Okay. Yeah.
Probably lakhs of rupees, like 10, 15,000, 20,000 dirhams, maybe more than that.
Sport exhaust system including sport tailpipe and
Oh yeah,
dark
we have that.
browns.
We have that as well. It looks so good.
Yeah.
If you buy a Porsche, any Porsche, get sports exhaust. Period. There is no debate about it. Not only it looks cooler, it sounds better. You have to get it.
Tinted HD matrix LED headlight.
Oh yeah, again, a full option. The Matrix LED headlights. You have to see them to believe them. You know, they can become full beam. They can detect pedestrians. They turn. They can look at signboards. It's the technology of Matrix LED headlights is something else. And you know who invented Matrix LED headlights?
No.
Audi.
Oh yeah.
So Audi has always been the headlight leader. Like they come up with these crazy headlights, laser beams and headlights, all of that stuff.
And you have also the Porsche crest on the headrest.
Oh yeah. How much is? So you know, by the way, every time you get a Porsche logo somewhere on the interior of the Cayenne logo, it costs money and a lot of money.
GT Sport steering wheel with rim in race tech
Race
stacks.
Yeah.
and steering wheel heating. We don't need that. Okay, but yeah, you have it.
Really?
You want to know the price? It's 147,200 INR is
INR is rupees. Yeah.
yeah.
So that's roughly around 7,500 dirhams for the steering wheel. Wow.
The thing that we didn't try today is the Bose surround sound system, 280,700
Wow.
and passenger display.
Ours-
It's an option. It's 152,100.
What's the price of the car over here?
20 million 13,200.
So 2 crore rupees ex showroom in India. That will bring it up to close to 2 crore 75 lakhs, almost 3 crore rupees. Wow. Fadi, which model of Porsche do you think sells the maximum across the world?
I think it's the Cayenne.
Well, it's
Basically the Cayenne created, that
Segment.
the segment, and it's also brought Porsche from facing financial difficulties to a profitable company that can, work around, play around, and develop,
new sports cars.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But the Macan outsells the Cayenne in most markets, I think. But in the UAE, the Cayenne is a higher seller than the Macan. Did you know also that the Turbo GT, UAE is the largest market after the US, or close to being the largest market after the US?
Really?
So, yeah.
Wow.
So that is how much we love our performance cars. And it's not a cheap car, it's close to 1 million dirhams.
Yeah. Yeah.
So almost Urus money for the Porsche Cayenne GT Turbo, whatever it's called. What would you pick, Urus or Porsche?
Oh, big question. I think the Porsche.
100%. I would go with the Porsche any day. Understated performance over flashy performance.
Exactly.
Yeah. Cayenne over Macan or Macan over Cayenne?
Oh, I like the Macan, but it's a small car, so this one is more practical, more more for the Middle East. It's also a better option.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll have to go to that with the Cayenne. And don't forget, we have to not forget something, that Cayenne is the second legendary car from Porsche after 911.
True. Absolutely.
And it did that without losing the the reason of, I mean, the Porsche image, or the Porsche characteristic, or what I say. I don't know what
Essence of Porsche, the sporty essence of
yeah.
Porsche, the performance oriented essence, the whole soul of Porsche is retained in the Cayenne. I absolutely agree with you.
So any lack of image you have in this car have been compensated by the practicality. So if it's not like as
Yeah, you can.
so if it's not as sexy as the 911, yes, but it's more practical than the 911. So
100%.
whatever it lost in terms of losing the sporty character, it gained in the same level practicality.
Absolutely, 100%. You put that spot on. Last year at Icons of Porsche, I asked Mark Webber which car does he drive, and he said a Cayenne. He actually said I drive a Cayenne every day. So that's how practical it is.
Yeah.
And if a racing car driver can drive it and enjoy it, then definitely you can use it every day without complaining.
I don't want to look like I'm advertising Porsche Cayenne, but there is something that we need to mention, that this car paved the way for other manufacturers, like sporty manufacturers, like let's say the one of the best in the market, Ferrari.
Right.
They created the Purosangue. Without Cayenne, or what Cayenne did,
Nobody else would have done it. Nobody else would have done it.
I think that encouraged Ferrari to say, yes, okay, we can do an SUV or FUV or whatever they want to call it.
Yeah.
But we're gonna do a car like the Purosangue, and
100%, 100%, absolutely agree. Because of the Cayenne, not only
because it's
everybody else,
it was the only brand that was a sports car, and they did something practical and family oriented car.
No, but look at it. Porsche makes the Cayenne, the Macan, the Panamera, the Taycan, the 718 series, and the 911. So the portfolio of products is just
And
not...
the hero ones as well, the 918 and
Yeah, those are the supercars or hypercars. Okay, they are one-offs. But the regular production cars on a regular basis, all of them bring so much character to each car that I don't think any other brand brings so much character to each of their individual products, to the market, to every single consumer available, like to all the consumers out there. This is tappable performance, tappable usability, and tappable exclusivity as well. It's not too expensive and not too cheap at the same time. All in all, the base Cayenne that we have driven has a lot of potential. It's the perfect everyday car, especially if you're going to be driving around in the city. The build quality is phenomenal. The car handles and performs like no other SUV out there. And with all the capability this car throws at you, it is one of the most capable and practical cars you can buy for yourself. So what are you waiting for? Go check out the Cayenne at your nearest dealer and give me feedback on how you like it. Would you go for the base Cayenne, or would you go for a top-end performance version of it? Thank you for watching the Cornea Impression, and I'll see you guys soon.